Today's tale concerns a man named Oguri Tsukeshike, or Oguri Hangan. Oguri was actually a real person, but the series of well-known folktales in which he appears are obviously embellished. As you might be able to tell from the first line of the version I read, which reads, "After falling in love with the great serpent of Kyoto," we are going to start in the middle of the story. So anyway, the torrid love affair between Oguri and the big snake alienated his family, and he is driven from his ancestral home. But Oguri learns to love again, and falls in love with a maiden named Terute. Terute's father can't stand Oguri, and so he poisons Oguri and he dies. This is not the end of the story. Oguri awakens in hell, where he is receiving the judgment of Yama, king of the underworld. Yama feels sorry for our hero, and so he decides to give him another chance at life. Oguri is returned to the land of the living, but just barely. He's still just clinging to life. Yama has given him a wooden sign that reads, "Bathe me in the waters of Yunomine." In one of history's first recorded dick moves, Yama brought Oguri back 500 kilometers from Yunomine. So a wise priest named Kickstarter sets our adult hero up in a cart and gives him another sign. This one saying, "Whosoever pulls this man one step closer to Yunomine shall receive 1,000 blessings. 2 steps closer, 10,000 blessings. 3 steps closer, all of the previous tiers plus an enamel pin that says Yunomine or bust." Now, we're going to come back to that blessing thing in a minute. Eventually, Oguri is brought to an inn where, coincidentally, Terute has been made to work as a prostitute by her cruel brothers. She recognizes her lost love and resolves to pull him the rest of the way to Yunomine. After a perilous journey, Terute gets the cart with her beloved all the way to Yunomine. The final obstacle was a deep stretch of forest known as the 3-day wilderness, which took me about 30 minutes to drive through in my Mitsubishi. She bathes Oguri for 49 days straight, and this is finally enough to revive the unfortunate man and set him off in at least 7 more adventures. Now, let's get back to those blessings. 1 step nets you 1,000 blessings, 2, 10,000. So we can assume that this scales, and what we have here is the exponential growth of blessings. Even more so because Terute pulled the cart over half of the distance by herself. I know you're asking yourself, just how many blessings is Terute going to end up with? So for the answer, let's step into the calculatorium. Oguri and Terute's chance meeting happened in the town of Aohaka in Gifu, about 256 kilometers from Yunomine on foot. If we assume that 1 step is 1 meter, for simplicity's sake, that's 256,000 steps at an exponentially increasing rate of blessings. The amount of blessings for the final step isn't that hard to calculate. That's just 10 to the power of 255,998,000. But to find the sum total of all blessings, we need to dive in a little deeper. Let's call our answer 10 to the power of b for blessings. B is the sum of all numbers in a set, equal to the sum of the smallest and largest number, multiplied by the number of such pairs in the set. This comes out to 31.4 billion, or coincidentally, about 10 billion pi. But Terute is going to end up with a much better reward than 10 billion pies. She ends up with 10 to the power of 31 billion blessings, or 10 to the power of however you read that, or a 1 followed by 31 billion zeros, or a 1 followed by the number of dollars Jeff Bezos makes in 5 months. Let's try and put that number into perspective. If you had that many chicken nuggets, you'd have enough chicken nuggets to where you couldn't eat all of them. I'm going to leave it here for today, but rest assured, there are several more dopey tales to be told about Oguri Hangan. Check out the one where he falls in love with a big snake.